So today, friends, we're going to be reviewing some credit card debts. Now, credit cards are great to have if you can use them responsibly. If you can't, it kind of says, should you have it? So these videos, I'm going to be showing you some reactions of these videos. Now, the credit card debt is wild. In America, in the UK, anywhere you can get your hands on a credit card, if you misuse the credit, i.e. you're using the credit as if it is your wage, and it's going to be a problem because when you need to pay it back, you can't. Then it escalates and it gets wild. I'm not talking about people who need to have this or might have an emergency need. What I'm talking about, well, you're going to see. Let's get into it.
I'm 22 years old and I have $24,577 worth of credit debt. I know that seems like a big number, but once it's broken down into monthly payments, I'm literally only going to be paying about $1,700 a month. I'm not going to find...
She said, I'm 22 years old and I've got, you see, I can't even remember what the amount was, but she said, it seems like a lot. It breaks down to $1,700 a month. Excuse me, ma'am. Respectfully, that is $1,700 a month is the cost of an apartment, a flat, even in the UK. $1,700 for a one bedroom. Okay, let's listen to the rest, okay? I'm sweating. I'm breaking out in a sweat already. Let's listen to the video, shall we?
For bankruptcy for only $24,000 worth of credit debt. I do have a job, guys. I work, so I'll be making about like $3,000 to $4,000 a month. I am also still in school, trying to finish my degree, so pray for me. I feel like being in credit debt is pretty normal for most Americans.
That's a lie, they tell. Lie from here. What you mean? What you mean? It is not normal. And that's the thing. What they end up doing is they entice you with this credit card and then they automatically increase your budget. The fact that she's working is a benefit and she knows what she needs to do. She's actually making a plan. She isn't actually sitting there and being like, well, I don't know how I'm going to get out of it. I'm just going to file bankruptcy and whatever's whatever. She's actually working. And excuse me, at that age when she's earning 3 to 4K, that is a good job at that age. Now, when it comes to credit card debt is no respecter of persons. It don't care what your age is, what your creed, your color, your race, your sex, your living, your where you live. They don't care about that. And the thing is, these credit card companies can actually see your credit report and your credit file. So they'll be able to see how much credit you've actually used. Say, for example, out of 100% of your credit, a responsible lender would actually decline your application. It seems like these applications of these credit card companies, they accept everybody and anybody. Okay, you want a credit card? I'll give that to you. You want some more money? I'm gonna give that to you. Hello? Somebody say boundaries. There's none of that. And I think we get more and more in debt, and the more that we spend, they're like, oh, ka-ching, I see dollar signs. I'm gonna give this person some more money. I know they can't afford it because their credit file actually tells me they can't afford it, but I'm gonna increase their credit limit anyway so they can get further and further in debt. Let's keep watching.
Yeah, it stresses me out, but like not that much, guys. Honestly, I'm more stressed out about like why the man I'm seeing stopped talking to me.
Get yourself a new man.
I'm more stressed out about turning in my assignments on time. Like, I don't know. Money comes and goes. It'll come back to me. I'll be okay. Everybody has to relax. I'm about to sell my TV, my couch. That'll be like $3,000 right there, so I'll keep you guys updated.
I like her attitude. But she said she's going to sell her TV, she's going to sell her couch, and that's going to be a $3,000 amount right there. She's going to pay off the credit card. So she's not saying that she isn't paying the credit card, because there are some videos that I have that are absolutely wild. They're like, okay, I'm going to just go and file bankruptcy, then get yourself in the same position again. And I've been there. I've done that also. I like the fact that you've got your head screwed on already. Okay, maybe you need to understand what the whole debt is, and that's what we're going to watch in the next video. But she's actually saying she's got a plan, and she's actually like, you know what? There's better things that I could be worrying about. I'm making some payments. It's okay.
I'm 22 years old and I had about $100,000 worth of debt to my name about 3 months ago, and today I have about $76,000 worth of debt to my name. Started with about $37,387 worth of credit card debt. With debt settlement, I was able to get that number down to $24,577. Today I've been able to pay that sum down. So now I have $16,805 worth of credit card debt. I have an $8,021 student loan And I have about $51,248 left on my car loan.
Excuse me. What car are you driving that cost you $51,248? What car are you driving for that amount of money? Now I am going to say, at your age, hello? It doesn't mean that you should have it. Just because you can mean that you should. No, everything that is beneficial is permissible. The Bible going to tell you that. Let's continue.
Debt settlement paper. I made a $1,126 payment. So I only have 8 more $1,126 payments. I made a $509 payment.
11. Hey, in the name of Jesus. 1,100. I'm thinking 11,000. Girl. Ooh, Jesus help us. 7,126 for her car. Eesh. Girl. This girl though, she actually is making plans, and there is a video. I don't think I've got it in this one, but there is a video where you see what her car is. That's why it's $50,000. So this next one, she's a little bit older than 22, or she's a little bit older than that one. So let's watch this one.
I'm 35 years old and in $169,292.74 of debt, and I still live at home with my parents. And you might as well bump that up to $266,722.97 in debt if you add in how much I will pay in interest. I started aggressively looking at my debt in January and truly didn't know the full financial picture until I got it all down on paper. Debts include 2 private student loans, 10 federal student loans, 1 auto loan, 1 private loan, and 13 credit cards. I've already taken some drastic measures to reduce...
Help me, Jesus, I can't speak. 10 federal loans and 13 credit cards. Why do you need that many credit cards?
What are they for?
Now, I understand that when you buy credit cards, feels like it, but when you get a credit card, what some people end up doing, and I've done it myself, you get another credit card to pay off that debt. You ain't paying off anything. What you end up doing is you buy things and then you end up in more debt. 2 credit cards to pay off, but 13. These people are setting you up to fail, because that is crazy. Just because people are 35, 50, 40, it doesn't mean that everybody is financially literate or has the understanding or the capacity to be able to manage that one card, let alone 13. At what point do you say, no, it's enough now?
Done means done.
And I think what happens is we end up getting so knee deep that we can't actually see it, or we choose not to see it. And I've done that. I've buried my head. I would get phone calls. When I hadn't paid a bill, I'd get the letters, because I'm like, where am I getting the money from? And the thing that happened to me is I would avoid it. I'd have piles of letters unopened, and I would know the brown ones that would come. I wouldn't say final demand on the front of the letters, but I would know the letters by their addresses. I started to look at the addresses and where they were coming from, so I just chose not to open them, because I can't pay you the money that you want. But it was my choice to go and get the credit card though. Unless you've got an American Express and you're getting that for the air miles or something like that, there's no need for you to have 13 credit cards. If you went into debt to pay something, that's different. But unless you've got the $5,000 coming the next month to pay that off, that's a different ballgame. But if that's the case, why are you paying on the credit card in the first place if it is a credit card that does not give you points? The question is like, why do people keep spending when they know that they cannot afford it? Same Joneses that you're trying to keep up with, they're going to chat behind your back and talk kind of nonsense about you, but we still try to keep up with them, right? When somebody is stressed about money, what the brain will do is the reward center, the endorphins, it will fire that up for us to get a good feel vibes. And then we will keep going back and it will etch. The neurological pathways will be created. When I get stressed about money, when I get stressed about life, oh, I know, I'll get a credit card and it makes me feel good. Great. But the issue is you're piling up more things for you to deal with than you had before, than if you had actually dealt with it. Let's continue.
Spending and start side hustling. I started posting my debt payoff journey here on TikTok in hopes of growing and getting into the creator fund. So if you made it this far, thanks so much for watching and following. I'm selling my debt tracking template. I'm door dashing, donating plasma, selling items around the house, and doing TikTok shop to try and make a dent. I made some really good progress so far thanks to an annual bonus I got from my 9-to-5 job, but I've got a long way to go. I've been able to negotiate most of my interest rates on my credit cards down with the help of a debt management plan, but the interest on my student loans is wild. My 2 private student loans have interest rates of 12.75% and 8.9%, while my federal loans range from 5.8 to 6.6%. The private student loans are from my undergraduate degree, which I earned over 15 years ago. I would probably puke if I knew how much I had already paid. And to this day, I think about all the frivolous things I bought and did when I was in my teens and 20s with this money, and Wow. If I would have known I would be paying for tank tops and fun nights out at bars 1,000 times over the next 15 years, I might have made some different choices. Even though I've already paid off about $31,000 of debt so far this year, I'm still not looking at being debt-free until 2040.
Even though she's made off her payments, you hear that? She's still looking at being completely debt-free until 2040. That's another 15 years. Listen, if there is anything that you can take from these people's stories, it's not judgment. It is, Lord, help me not to be like this. Help me to appropriate and understand what I need to when it comes to money. If you weren't taught about money growing up, it's not okay. We'll accept that you haven't been taught about money, but we can learn how to. There's loads of people online now that will teach us about money. There's money courses, there's things for free. For somebody who is still strapped for money and you can't afford any educational courses, there are loads of things out there that we can learn. Dave Ramsey's podcast is another way for us to learn from other people's mistakes so we don't have to experience the same things without actually learning. So when it comes to people like this, or people are just caught up in debt that they cannot physically handle, what was it that took you to this point where you said 13 credit cards was what I needed? And you know what's even worse, what burns even more, is if you're not in the field that you actually qualified for. Now, this lady has said that she is doing things. She's on TikTok. She's sharing her journey. So that means that she's getting some money. She's actually created a debt management template. So then now people can purchase that template for, I think it's about between $5 and $10. Any proceeds that she gets from that goes back into the debt. So she's debt snowballing according to one of Dave Ramsey's actual principles. But yeah.